get this going. Oh, did you already? Is it recording? Oh, oh, thank you. Thank you. Is the sound level okay for everybody? Okay, great. Everyone present? Anyone not present? Oh, you get a mindfulness talk, right? We've certainly heard some meaningful talks about equanimity. And I think I've already shared this Tibetan prayer of aspiration, but it seems to fit here. By the merit of practicing the great perfections, the paramis, may we be free from attraction and aversion and partiality and remain in the great equanimity. Sort of hear the drum rolls in that, but equanimity is really seen as the crown jewel of the Brahma Viharas, the fruit of practice. Easy to steady the ship when the waters are smooth and calm. You know, I say that, but how quickly we get distracted or pulled away, or we ruminate on the calmest of days. So we know how challenging it is to settle when the currents and worldly winds are going in all different directions. And I heard Bill say this on retreat, that the first order of business when we set up these holding environments is to find our safe harbor, to calm and settle these organisms, to orient in the direction of well-being, to orient in that direction as we learn to be with whatever is here, whatever might be stirring or showing up, whether it's in our, on our cushion or in our lives. Care and caring attention support equanimity. Every time we come back to our practice, attend to these body, heart, minds, all of which need something a little different at any given moment, we are strengthening the muscle of equanimity. We are seeing what is stirring and what is needed to help us stabilize and calm and find some homeostasis, some balance. We bring a heartfelt attention, not just a casual attention. Bill often uses that like as if we're holding a little bird. Heartfelt. To breath, already breathing, or sounds, or words, or qualities of metta, whatever supports us to come into a safe harbor. We don't know when an illness will arise within us or a loved one. We don't know when we might be blindsided by someone's anger or hurt, or when a pandemic may come or a war breaks out. We don't know what the next moment's going to bring. Do you know? I don't know. We don't know. But we know we have this moment. Lori and Catherine shared the challenges in working toward equanimity, orienting toward well-being, particularly when it's difficult. And their sharing of their understanding and their process supports us in our equanimity. Sharing and connection support equanimity. We look to people who have qualities that we aspire to. And I love this idea because it gives me some confidence that we look to others because and see these qualities. We recognize them in others because somehow we also know it in ourselves, but we don't yet trust it. And there are people and beings and places and music and poetry that have helped shape our hearts. And they really are valuable resources for us. We want to input them. We want to breathe with them. We want to pay attention to how we might feel a little more calmness in their presence or a little more ease, spaciousness, or how they might respond to us as they see us in distress. I saw my mother's gracefulness and equanimity in the weeks before her death. And I didn't experience my mom as an equanimous person. She wasn't. But she found it in those days of her dying. She was diagnosed with lung cancer, and 3 weeks later, she was gone. She was a chronic smoker. And she shared with me a few years before this diagnosis, sort of a revelation that she had, an awareness that she was sort of understanding about her relationship with smoking. And she said, when I was a little girl, I would go to my grandparents' farm. And after supper, the men would all go out and they would sit and talk and smoke pipes. And she would sit on her grandfather's lap. And she said, I love this. I was a part of it. I was a part of this circle. And I connected smoking to feeling loved. Feeling loved supports equanimity. And I know that she suffered from not knowing she was loved and lovable. We all want to know that we belong, that we are a part of, that we are deeply interconnected. And on the last days of her life, when she was surrounded by her family and friends and the smoke was out of the room, I saw her receive and communicate a love that was always there, but not felt and not openly expressed. I think of Susan's beautiful guided practice, breathing in love, breathing out peace. And that was kind of happening. My mother and I were not big huggers, and I didn't even know, how am I going to offer some physical support? But I rubbed her feet, and she accepted it. And she liked it. And she let me know. Joy in the midst of pain. Joy supports equanimity. And my father, he was the doctor and a guy's guy. He was understandably distraught. My mother was steady in the stormy seas of samsara. She was in the fruit the truth of what was happening, right? The fruit of equanimity. She was in the truth of what was happening right there and then. She let us know the music she wanted to be played at her funeral, and she chose her tombstone. These were things that needed to be attended to. Being with the truth as it is supports equanimity. The minister we weren't a particularly religious family, but there was a minister, and she had gone up and she came down to speak with us. And she said, I asked your mother if there were regrets that she might have, want to share, unburden. And her answer was, we're not doing that now. I'm not doing that now. And I understand this so differently now than I thought about it years ago. Because I thought, oh, she's avoiding the truth. I don't think that anymore. I think she was saying, there's no room for that now. There's no value in that now. She was determined to stay in the present. And I like to think that there was contentment. I'm going to close with this poem. It's entitled Peace is This Moment Without Judgment by Dorothy Hunt. Do you think peace requires an end to war or tigers eating only vegetables? Does peace require an absence from your boss, your spouse, yourself? Do you think peace will come some other place than here? Some other time than now? In some other heart than yours? Peace is this moment without judgment. This is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that you should feel some other thing, that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace is this moment without judgment. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Thank you for listening. Now we get to practice. And you know what to do. I'm going to just bring this down. And we turn with a deliberate intention to pay kind attention to what these bodies need right now. Right now. Where might you need to open or stretch? What might relax if it had a little more support? What might need to shake out or would benefit from some massage around the jaw, around the eyes. Take your time. We don't have to hurry. And see if even some sway side to side or forwards, backwards. This might allow the spine to lubricate a little. And when you're ready, come into a comfortable and settled posture. Maybe the eyes can close and relax, soften. Helpful taking some slower, longer breaths, maybe hanging out with the exhale. Letting go of what is no longer needed. And orienting toward a comfortable breath. Allowing the eyes to soften and the face to soften. And you feel breath breathing in you and through you and out of you, the flow of breath. We're in the flow of this breathing. Allow yourself to feel the place where the body makes direct contact with the chair, the floor, feeling that sensation of contact and stability. Mother Earth is holding you. And for this short time, attuning the heart minds to the posture of caring attention. How does that feel? What might support more care and interest? And reminding the mind that it too can relax from its busyness and planning. Drop down, open. The eyes soften and the face soften. And the attitude soften. If the mind is distracted, drifting as it does, we simply invite returning to the breath, body, sound, this moment. The willingness to return is growing the muscle of equanimity.